So for my project, I researched the chambered nautilus, aka the living fossil. The chambered nautilus is also called Nautilus pompilius. And some quick facts about them is they are coral reef dwellers. However, they live in very dimly lit regions of the Indo-Pacific around 300 meters down. However, they're sometimes found really close to the surface, but that is very, very rare. But they are also sometimes found in shallower waters when feeding at night at around 75 meters. They are cephalopods, and the cephalopod era was around 225 to 65 million years ago, is when kind of everything of that, or all of the species that roam the oceans, kind of look similar to these guys. Um, but that is long gone. The ocean is a very different place now. Um, these nautilus also have two small eyes. However, they're not used very much because they're so far down under the water. They don't get a lot of light, so they rely on other senses like their sense of touch and smell, rather than to see. They have 90 different tentacles called suri, and they are tactile, and they are chemosensory and mechosensory. So they are able to smell, as well as mechanically feel, grab, and they can also move around with them. Um, they are externally shelled. They swim backwards through jet propulsions like a lot of other mollusks. Their shell has counter shading, and I'll also show some pictures a little bit later. But for these guys, the counter shading at the bottom of the shell, they are a little bit lighter. So when predators are looking up at it, it kind of emulates the sunlight, or just kind of like the sun above them. Even though they're so far down, it does help a little bit. And then from the top, they have brown stripes, brown and white stripes that make it look like there's, dirt or rock that's below them, so they can better camouflage. Um, these guys also live around 16 years, which is actually a lot shorter than most cephalopods, which is kind of sad. Here are some images on the right. That is kind of the size of an adult male and female, so they don't get too much bigger than that. Some are seen to be bigger, a lot are smaller too. And then on the left side of this screen is it obviously in its natural environment. You can see all of its tentacles there and its mantle and its cool shell in the eyes. So its trophic and reproductive ecology. Um, so depending on the water temperatures, the eggs hatched after between 9 and 15 months of, I guess, an incubation period, you can call it. And maturity is actually 5 years old, so they mature very, very slow. And these species also reproduce through fertilization, where a male sticks a very long tentacle into the mantle of the female, similar to like octopi or other um, cephalopods as well. And they latch on with their spare tentacles to the shell to get a grip in order to do this process. And yeah, they deliver sperm right into the mantle of the female. They also lay eggs. The female lays them one at a time, so it's not like a big, spray of eggs. They are careful and they lay them one at a time. They don't really have a breeding season. Sexual maturity for these guys are around 5 to 10 years after they're born. I think I said that previously, which is a very long time even compared to other cephalopods, which is strange. They are carnivorous. They eat small fishes, shellfish, crabs, and they do have a stomach system. It's very rudimentary. It's called a crop, but it is like a functional stomach slash food storage space inside of them. And like I said before, they really rely on their sense of smell because their eyes aren't that good. And how they smell is through their tentacles, and they kind of flaunt them out, like the image you see below, in like a cat whiskers short sort of fashion, in order to have a lot of surface area out, which they use to smell and therefore kind of hunt for food as well. Uh, and then these guys are definitely not top of the food chain. Some predators are triggerfish, grouper, sharks, other cephalopods like octopi, and then snapper as well. And then here are a couple videos.